Hello, my fellow YouTubers, and today I'll be reviewing Kingdom Hearts 2. Okay, Kingdom Hearts 2, I will be honest, is one of my favorite game in the whole collection. Seriously, when I played this game for the first time, I was hooked. I just I couldn't wait to see what happened to these characters next. I couldn't wait to see what boss would fight, what Disney's worlds we would see, and what new gameplay styles we would get. And I was happy to say it did not disappoint. It was everything I hoped it would be when I first played it. And when I played it again in the remixes, I must say I got the same sense of enjoyment as I did for the first time on the PlayStation 2. Okay, so what's make this great game better than the first game? Well, for starters, let's talk about the opening, the gameplay at least. In the opening, we get a lovely another score by Utica Hitkori in her lovely song Sanctuary, or in the Japanese, Passion. It's really a great song. Listening to the beats, the drum solos, you name it, and the guitar. Oh, it's really a fantastic, like simple and clean. It's really fantastic work by her. Now, for gameplay, in the opening of Kingdom Hearts 2, this is where it gets a bit sketchy because we're following a different character altogether. A young man named Roxas who has these strange dreams during his summer vacation about Sora and the crew. He doesn't know why he has these dreams, only that they've been happening to him frequently. And over time, we see him bond with his friends Heina, Olette, and Pence to understand these dreams in this lovely world called Twilight Town, which is what sounds the town in the twilight. Now in this opening gameplay, some fans of this say this is very boring because it takes up a lot of time. This introduction, learning the skills, and Roxas' story. I can see why, but for me, I did really enjoy this opening gameplay. I know, it may make me sound boring, but I like storytelling, and seeing this new character here, the mysteries that surround him and his connection to Sora, I really did enjoy fantastically. It really made me wonder it really made me care about what this Rox is. Now, we never saw him prior to this game, except to the secret ending in Chain of Memories, but even then we didn't know him, only that he would be key in Kingdom Hearts 2. But I really fell in love with this character, how much mystery there was to him, and what would happen to him, and where he came from. It was only later we found out this real tragedy, and when we found out what his fate, what would happen to him for the rest of the game, it did make me cry. I really did love this character, and seeing him having to accept his fate like this was heartbreaking. But with that, however, all good things come to an end. Let's go to the main gameplay with Sora and the gang. So Sora, Donald, and Goofy, I found out they've been sleeping for at least a year. They have no clue why, just that it's been a year. Yeah. Now you see the reason why this is because back in Chain of Memories, after Namine messed up all of Sora's memories, the only way to fix them, like to get his main memories back, was to put him into stasis and rearrange them with the real memories. However, by doing this, Sora, Donald, and Goofy completely forgot everything from Chain of Memories. Castle Oblivion, Molusha, everything. Last thing they remembered was probably going in on that Meadow World at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1. But for the main gameplay, we see Sora, Don, and Goofy going to Yensid's castle. Yensid being Mickey's wizard teacher from Fantasia, where they meet Pete. You know, Pegleg Pete. I really had a fan starter meeting him again because he's just so fun, Pete. He's the ultimate bully boy. It was fun to see him in Kingdom Hearts 2 in his outfit. Well, in it, we introduced to the Heartless and a new or old type of enemy called the Nobodies. The nobodies are very interesting designs, like the silver body, using sips as their main mouths. It was very intimidating, and their connection to the heartless and the law, that these are creatures who do not exist. That just gave me chills. Later on, we found out that they're controlled by the organization who also are nobodies but have been able to keep their human form and IQ. So we can see the standards of ranges of nobodies. We learn more about the organization and the remaining members. So I was given some new outfits, and this is where the gameplay really increases. Unlike the first game, so it can attack, use magic, summons. However, additionally, we are given two new added features in Kingdom Hearts 2. One is Limit, which allows him to combine an attack with a fellow party member, whether it be Donald or Goofy or even another Disney character. It's really fantastically done because they add in this sweet animation during the attacks. It's very full on and very awesome to see. I really enjoyed using limits and couldn't wait to see what every character had with, so I could do it with. And now the second part of the new command system is drive forms. Now, ever since we saw the Keyblade, it was awesome using its power technique. So, what happens if we could use two? Kingdom Hearts 2 answered that. We're given a set of transformation which allows Sora to use multiple keyblades like Failure Form, Wisdom Form, Master Form, Final Form, and Anti Form, and Limit Form. Now, not all of these forms use the keyblade or two keyblades, accurately. Some of them will change Sora's type of fighting style, like shoot long range shooting, using a set of limits, or just attacking with no keyblade at all. However, for the forms that use keyblades, you're allowed to jump higher, use some deadly combos and techniques. It's quite awesome having this power, and with each upgrade, you feel more connected to the keyblade, and you can feel Sora's growth as a character. as for the as for the Disney worlds, sorry. Disney Worlds were given a lovely return and expansion. For the Disney Worlds that returned, Halloween Town, called Hercules' World, and Agrabah, they're really nicely done with some added story and layout, like an expanded Cave of Wonders, Christmas Town, and additionally, the Underworld, which just creeped me out as a kid. So even though they were using some old worlds, this expansion really makes them feel new, along with the nobodies. And for the new worlds, such as Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Tron, they're really nicely done. Just the work they put into this is quite amazing. Just the detail to everything really looks like an exact duplicate from the Disney film. For that, I really thank the developers for it. So I need to. Sorry about that. Back now. Anyway, I really appreciate Square Enix putting a lot of work into these Disney worlds. They really look exact duplicates of the Disney films. When I went to Beast Castle, it looked so on spot. The rooms, the locations was amazing. In Land of the Dragons, Mulan's world, there was the mountain, the Empress City. It was really beautiful, remastered. So for worlds, I give an A plus, except for Little Mermaid's world. Sadly, this world really felt like too much of a reuse. It didn't add anything, create some continuity problems with Ursula being in it. I really felt unnecessarily there. But for the most part, I really had a fun time with the worlds. We're exploring all these Disney characters, getting some nice transformations like Lion Sora, Black and White Sora. It was very lovely. Now, for the last part of the games, they really do give you some action in it. For example, in one of the fight midway in the game, you have to fight at least 1,000 Heartless. On top of that, you're giving some damn cool revelations about the organization and the main villain from the last game, Ansem. It really is what I appreciate about the last half was that it just it just literally changes everything. All the theories you made, everything. And it's really fantastic. And after that midway, every world you've been to gets an extra story, giving you more content and more stuff, things to do. So I really give the game more praise for adding in additional storylines and having a good idea how to reuse worlds. Like it's like putting one level on top of another one. It's very good, very nicely done. And oh, in the final world, sorry about that again. Sorry, I haven't been feeling well. The world that never was is the home of the nobodies is quite creepy. It does feel it just feels cold. You don't know where you're going. You don't know who lives in these buildings apart from the castle. It just feels like one big depressing area. But for the worlds and the locations, the whole open world RPG, this game really improved on it. That the downside is you lose the ability to swim and all the other additional activities like that in the first game, but they do make up for it. They really do make up for it. Also, in some rare instances where Sora is beaten by a boss, you can actually play as Mickey, who plays a massive bigger part than he did in the first game. It's fun playing Mickey. I mean, at one time I made a save file where I just got Sora beaten up all the time just to play him. Now, that's for the gameplay. What about the story? The story is quite simple. Sora wants to find Rico and Mickey. When he finds Mickey, Mickey informs him that Riku has disappeared somewhere. He doesn't want to be seen. And while Sora goes out searching for Riku and Riku, he doesn't know that Riku's been there all the time. He's just been protecting him. And then he finds out later that the love of his life, Kyrie, has been spotted in Twilight Town. When he goes in, he finds out she's been kidnapped. So it's back to the first game again, finding his two friends, Rico and Kyrie. Before you ask it, it's not repetitive. They do it in a way that's unique, very nicely unique. And in it, with the characters, and at the end, when Sora is reunited with Kyrie, it's such a heartfelt moment. Because ever since seeing the ending of Kingdom Hearts 1, I just wondered, how is he going to see her again? Will he see her again? I just needed to know, and that moment, in the world that never was, felt so earned. And we're reunited with Riku, who's taking the face of Ansem for some unknown reason. But we later find out what it was, but I won't spoil that for you. So, and we could take down the final boss, and it's game over. They go back to the beach, and it's just bar mitzvahs for everyone. However, later they find a secret letter from King Mickey, which really gives us a whole new idea of what to do in the future games. Now, for the story, some may say it's repetitive, but for me, it felt unique. They put up the higher standards. There's a group who is attacking Sora's friends, who he's trying to find, who he's trying to stop. I felt like more on edge. Like, what are they going to do with Kyrie? What is Riku doing? There's just so many questions buzzing in my mind. And what I gave it credit for his humor, adventure, and for the fact that it really just made you on edge at times. Okay, now for characters. Well, like the first game, So is pretty much doing his stuff, being the nice boy, confident, but you can see that the 2 years of journeying has taken a toll on him. He's anytime when he gets upset or angry, you feel it. He just he's going to have enough. He just wants to go home with his friends, and you get the idea. And for that, it kind of pushes you more to the final ending. Donald and Goofy, lovable as always. It was cool to see King Mickey in this, seeing how far more he has expanded as a character. Not just playable, but finding out he had a bigger part in all of this, ex- making you have a sort of a better respect for his character or his Kingdom Hearts counterpart. Riku has changed. No longer this ambitious kid from the island. He's more wiser, sensible. He's just really someone you can respect now. Kyrie has matured greatly, wanting to leave the islands, no longer being the damsel in distress. She just wants to find her friends now. She realized waiting ain't going to do anything for her. The character Roxas, I love, like I said, the opening. His story was so beautifully done. The organization members, each one is unique. Like Solden is this manipulator who's able to turn the beast against Bell. Demix is a twit, but a lovable twit. Luxord is a gambler, making him perfect for the Pirates of the Caribbean universe. Syx, he just knows how to get into your head, being able to make Sora pushing him, just keeping on pushing him. So Ixper is just that cool second hand you love. He's just proper. Psh, psh. He is a bit intimidating. I remember getting stuck on his boss a ton of times, but still, he's nicely portrayed. And finally, the head honcho Semnis, the nobody of Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness. One could argue he's a repetitive character, but they're wrong to think that because this isn't the same character. It's his nobody, and for that, and he just has this ominous voice, and the multiple forms he picks, such as a giant castle dragon or this king sitting on a chair with a giant sword. He's intimidating. He knows never to quit. He's essentially nobody freezer. So for Kingdom Hearts 2, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's a fantastic sequel, a good game. It deserves to be a main title. Love things to do, especially in its final mix for the secret bosses. So all in all, good game. I'm the Nerd King. Thank you for watching.